Hi guys, this is Amanda's new SCA steak cooking kettle, and I'm going to show you how to install the Team Unknown hinge on it. First things first is I like to locate the controls and figure out where I want to put the hinge. I prefer to put the hinge on the back side of the kettle, opposite of the controls. So there's the controls, so I'm going to want to put the hinge about in this area. And I like to put the exhaust port in the back next to the hinge and the temperature gauge facing me. Jason recommends that you put the hinge directly over a leg. This will give you the most support, but I'm looking for the most functionality. And by putting the hinge directly on the back here, it gives me access to the hooks on the handles to hang my grilling tools. Okay, so here are the tools you're going to need to install your hinge. You're going to need your hinge. You're going to need the nuts and bolts that came with the hinge. Any kind of tape that you can mark up, a marker, pencil, pen, whatever. You're going to need a 7/16 inch wrench, stepper bit, Phillips screwdriver, and another drill bit to drill a pilot hole, and obviously your drill. Step 1, put a piece of tape down on your kettle, right here, approximately where you want the hinge to be located. 2, put your hinge so that the bottom of this edge is right where the formed lip on the lid is, and tape it into place. Next, you're going to want to double check your hinge alignment with your handles and make sure it's how you want it. I want mine straight in line with the exhaust and the temperature gauge and the handle on the lid. And I already marked the holes with the marker, and now I'm going to remove the hinge, and those are my 2 holes that I want to drill with a 1/8 inch pilot hole. After drilling your pilot holes, you can remove the tape. Some people are worried about chipping the porcelain at this step, but I've probably installed 8 of these and have never chipped the porcelain. Here's the outside, and there's the inside. Next, take your stepper bit and enlarge the holes. I always like to keep the bolt handy so that I know how big to make the hole. After I have the holes enlarged, I like to hit the inside of the holes with the stepper bit real lightly to remove these burrs. Here's what it looks like with the burrs removed. The directions call for you to paint the inside of your holes at this step to prevent them from rusting. I prefer to use a little of the red RTV silicone gasket material to seal them up even better. This is the silicone gasket material. Anyone that has a Weber Smoky Mountain and has bought a gasket kit for it, this is the same stuff that holds the gasket in place on the Weber Smoky Mountain. My container didn't want to cooperate with me, so I had to improvise a little bit. But the next step is install the hinge onto the lid. I prefer to put the smooth side of the bolt on the inside of the kettle, so that way I can clean it up easy. And I prefer to put the nut on the outside. Also, you'll notice that you want to clean up that gasket material, any gasket material that leaks out from here when you're tightening it up. You're going to want to clean that up immediately, so that way it doesn't leave any marks on the inside of your kettle. Next, you're going to want to replace your lid back on the bowl, exactly how you want it, exactly lined up wherever you want to put your hinge, and tape off the bottom half where you want to mark your holes, and tape the bottom half of the hinge into place and mark your holes. With the lid removed, you can drill your pilot holes and remove your tape. Next, I'm going to use the stepper bit and enlarge these holes. Okay, I used the stepper bit and enlarged the holes, and also deburred the inside just like on the lid. And next I'm going to use the RTV silicone sealant, apply it to the bolts, and install the bottom half of the hinge just like I did the top half. Okay, here's the bottom half of the hinge installed on the bowl, and then you'll see 3 of the bolts here still have the RTV sealant that leaked out around the outside of the heads. And I'll just take a paper towel. You can see the one on the bottom left. I already took a paper towel and wiped that one off. It just comes off with a dry paper towel as long as you catch it before the stuff dries. So here's your finished product, your unknown hinge on your Weber product. And I say on your Weber product because really the installation on any of the Weber kettles or even the Weber Smoky Mountain is pretty much identical to this. Here it is, hanging out. It works perfectly, does exactly what it's supposed to do. This really makes your SCA competitions easier because you don't have to fight with your lid getting it open, closed, or whatever. And as you can see, this thing is made of stainless steel. It's beefy. It's going to last longer than this kettle. So when this kettle burns out, which will be freaking 10 years or more probably, I can remove this hinge. All these pieces, even the nuts and bolts, are all stainless. So you can literally just take this off and reuse it on your replacement kettle. I have another kettle I've been using for SCA competitions, and it's pretty beat up already. It already fell off the back of the truck once or twice. And I'm probably going to just take the hinge right off of that and put it on my replacement cooker whenever it finally sees enough abuse that I feel like replacing it. So good luck, guys.